What are we even looking at? What is this disaster? The graph of f is shown below. Fill in each blank with an inequality or an equal sign. Maybe they're equal, maybe one's greater than the other. So let's figure this out. I am not going to start at the beginning. I'm going to skip around a little bit. I like to go for the low-hanging fruit. So as we look at all of these, like, what is this? Well, let me interpret that before we really begin. And here's the interpretation. Let me zoom in a little bit and drop the camera some. The interpretation is this. This is the slope between B and A. Okay, this is the slope of the secant line, not the tangent line, but the slope of the secant line from B to A. All right, so from B to A, the slope would be whatever this is. So the slope from B to A, that's represented here, is that line right there, which would be negative something. I don't know the exact negativity of it. Wish it was a little more optimistic. But the slope from B to A, that slope is negative something. Okay, but again, low-hanging fruit. Let's go for it. C and f of A. Whoa, what? Okay, C, I don't know the value of C. Who cares? C is positive, right? Okay, great. So we're dealing with the positive here. F of A is the y value associated with an input of A, and that is a negative. Which one's greater, the positive or the negative? The positive. Okay? All right, I'm going to go for one more piece of low-hanging fruit. Let's go with this one. F of B, F of C. The output at B and the output at C. The output at B is negative. The output at C is on the x-axis, so it must be 0. Which is greater, a negative or a 0? A 0. Okay, no more low-hanging fruit. We'll start back at the beginning. The slope that connects A and B and the slope that connects C and B. All right, let's talk about it. The slope that connects A and B, we already had a brief little demonstration of what that is. The slope that connects A and B is negative something. So using a different color pen, not purple, but because it's going to look cluttered otherwise, this is going to be a negative. So this is a negative. I'm just going to put that right there. You don't have to write that, but this is just my way of writing stuff so I can reference it later if I need to. The slope between C and B is, well, that's a slope that's positive. I've connected C and B, and I got a positive number. So we have a negative and we have a positive, and then I go for the obvious. Which one's bigger? That would be the positive. Okay, let's keep moving. The slope between C and A is this. There we go. Just get a good visualization of what that slope is. And then the slope between C and B. Okay, here's your first one. Here's the slope between C and B. Okay, they're both positive, right? So putting the little plus sign isn't going to help me. But which slope is steeper? First option. Second option. Second option. If we found rise over run, we don't have any numbers here, but if we found rise over run, this would have a greater rise over run than this one would. This is a not so steep slope. This is a steeper slope. So the steeper slope was the one that connected C and B. This one's greater. All right, here goes. F of D minus F of B over D minus B. This is the slope between D and B. Slope between D and B is this, represented by this line. So look at that slope. Get a good visual for it. There we go. There's the slope between D and B. And then this next one says F prime of D. What is the slope at D? I don't know the slope at D, but I do know the slope at D, represented by a tangent line, would touch at that one point, and it would be this. So, which is steeper? This slope or that slope? Okay, this is option 1. This is option 2. That's almost a vertical line. That's steeper. Option 2. is greater. Okay, connecting D and B, connecting B and C. DB, option 1. Option 2. Okay, again, connect D and B, connect D and C. Which one was steeper? Pause the video if you don't know, try to figure it out. I'm going to go ahead and write the answer and move on. Okay, f of C and f prime of B. F of C is 0. F prime of B. Oh, okay. What's the slope at B? The slope at B would be wherever it would be the slope of the line tangent at B, which is here. What's the slope of this line? 0. So we have a 0 here and we have a 0 here. These are equal. Only one that's equal so far. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's connect A and D. A and D has this slope. Here's option 1. It's positive. B and A has this slope. It's negative. Oh, that one's going to be obvious then. We have a positive here and a negative here. I just didn't use purple because it would just get cluttered with all the other stuff. Doesn't matter. There we go.